If I think about the ways you make me smile, I'd be sitting here and smiling for a while. Although I know I make you cry sometimes, your happiness is ever on my mind. I cannot repay for everything you've done, but my love for you burns brighter than the sun. No matter where my feet and mind may go, my heart will lead to you and you alone. Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. A paradise so wondrous to behold, a work of art, your heart is gleaming gold. They sail the waters, soar above the trees, to find the gem between the mountains and seas. Your children know we try though we may fall. We stand united now to heed your call. Our fathers fought the fights for liberty. Forever I'll defend Guyana free. Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. Holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody stand? Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody take a stand? Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody stand? Rise up for your land. Oh, Guyana, If I think about the ways you make me smile, I'd be sitting here and smiling for a while. Although I know I make you cry sometimes, your happiness is ever on my mind. I cannot repay for everything you've done, but my love for you burns brighter than the sun. No matter where my feet and mind may go, my heart will lead to you and you alone. Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. A paradise so wondrous to behold, a work of art, your heart is gleaming gold. They sail the waters, soar above the trees, to find the gem between the mountains and seas. Your children know we try though we may fall. We stand united now to heed your call. Our fathers fought the fights for liberty. Forever I'll defend Guyana free. Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. Holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody stand? Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody take a stand? Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody stand? Rise up for your land. Oh, Guyana, If I think about the ways you make me smile, I'd be sitting here and smiling for a while. Although I know I make you cry sometimes, your happiness is ever on my mind. I cannot repay for everything you've done, but my love for you burns brighter than the sun. No matter where my feet and mind may go, my heart will lead to you and you alone. Guyana, Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. Up
Wake up, the day is bright, time to feel the flow. Turn your dial for your vibe, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wide in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Wake up, the day is bright, time to feel the flow. Turn your dial to Livewire, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wired in every way. We'll keep you wired every way, in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. So grab your coffee, your tea, or toast. With Courdel Jones, we'll give you the most. Livewire, we'll give you the way. To the energy, the beat of the street, the show that connects, it's where people meet. We're wired to your world, we got the news. On Livewire, there's nothing to lose. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Oh, oh, oh. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Livewire with yours truly. It is the 20th of July, 2026. Morning to the persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Morning to the persons joining us across the diaspora. Especially good morning to those persons in the comment section. And I must say condolences to anyone who would have lost or had a relative injured in the recent incident involving the MV Burima. We're going to talk a little bit about that this morning. I'll say this to you guys. I understand why, especially what's the right term to use? Why persons who engage in content like I engage in sometimes take a step back, right? I completely understand, because some of the things that happen in this country are so hard to process, especially when you see the reaction of certain sections of Guyanese society. Over the weekend, we had a tragic incident taking place off the coast of Essequibo. And instead of we rally together like as a people, be bipartisan in this instance, because at the end of the day, it's Guyanese that we are talking about. This is not an election cycle. This is not an election period. We're talking about Guyanese, whether they voted PPP, PNC, win, we're talking about Guyanese. And it seems like certain parts of the political divide are completely incapable of putting aside their personal vendettas that they have and looking at the nation nationally. We've seen some newcomers to this trend. And I shouldn't say newcomers, but persons who have reactivated themselves. And we'll discuss all of that this morning. But let us deal with the MV Barima tragedy with facts, seriousness, and again, with some kind of compassion, right? And before I even start with this, let me just show you how insensitive some people can be, right? And you can definitely use the term assholes with some of these guys. So Guyanese gospel artist Samuel Medas, I think that's his name, made a post on social media condemning persons who have been trying to turn this tragic incident where Guyanese would have lost lives, Guyanese would have been injured, Guyanese would have been traumatized, made a post condemning persons turning this into a political thing. Let me say this clearly and unequivocally. President Ali, Vice President Jagdeo, Prime Minister Samuel Hines, Minister of Public Works, Senior Bishop Wanegel, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Minister Ramraj, none of them work at the wharf. The head of transport and harbor, the deputy head, the chief captain, the chief whoever, none of them are in charge of loading that vessel. So the idiocy that I see coming out with persons, the incompetence of the government and the government and the government, instead of efforts be focused on saving lives, recovering people who may have perished due to this incident, so that at least the families can get closure, that they bury the family, we find them. We have persons being asses. So Samuel Medas made a post asking persons or saying 0 points to anybody trying to score political mileage with this incident. And lo and behold, this old decrepit bastard, Ian Johnson, who has long since left the shores of Guyana because he had nothing sensible to offer Guyanese musical artists other than robbing them of their money. Now, a lot of you, the older persons may know him, but the youngsters, they don't. You understand? Ian Johnson was a Guyanese, producer. He used to produce this fine girl, Shelly G. She's overseas now and wants nothing to do with him. Right? This is the guy, Ian Johnson, that Jory made a whole song about. With the money where you owe me, Mr. Limpy. These wretches coming to talk foolishness after they run and left this country. Run and left musical artists who are here, contributing to this country, advancing the art form, and making something of themselves while representing their country. Carry yourself, Ian Johnson. Did you pay Jory as yet? Have you paid Jory the money that you owe him? You talking foolishness because a Guyanese who here saying, don't make this tragedy into something it's not. Some of them, bye. Anyway, as I was saying to y'all, we have to look at this MV Barima tragedy with fact, seriousness, and compassion. Because whilst families are grieving, while rescuers are still working, while the authorities are trying to establish the facts about how many people were on the vessel, the load that is on the vessel, there are already attempts by people, political people, to turn this national tragedy into political theater. One thing I want y'all to understand, there's something that is inherent in the Guyanese population. It may not be all of us, right? But it is something that is in us as Guyanese, not any specific race, but in us as Guyanese. Shell Muhammad said, Black people like money. But I am saying to you here, all Guyanese like money. Now, whether that boat had a capacity in terms of load and people that established by the authorities, transport and harbor, whoever managed the boat, I am saying to you that the Guyanese loading that boat, right, may have, I'm not saying that this is fact, but you have to take it into consideration that the Guyanese who are loading this boat, the loading crew, put a little extra because somebody paid them to do so. This isn't right. It shouldn't be encouraged. I'm not saying that this is what actually happened, but we have to take it into consideration, right? The boat got capacity in terms of load and passengers. But as Guyanese, walking loading the boat. You understand? And there have been instances where persons would have said, hey, not on this boat, but on other boats, the loading crew tell them they ain't got no more space, right? They got to pay something extra to get on the boat. When they go on the boat, if you see space on the boat, right? So I am saying that there's a possibility that the crew at the dock loading this boat may have overloaded the boat because they wanted to make their little change, right? My opinion, I'm not saying that this is a fact that was put out by the Ministry of Public Works. This is not a fact that was put out by the Transport and Harbor, by the Prime Minister or any official. This is my opinion, given my assessment of Guyanese people. Somebody takes some money to put extra. I think so. I'm not saying it's facts, though. Right? Now, again, we must reject this attempt at the political theater in relation to this incident. The capsizing of the MV Barima is a painful and heartbreaking incident. Lives have been lost. Families are waiting for answers. Survivors have endured a terrifying ordeal at sea. This is not a time for celebration. It is not a time for reckless speculation. And it is certainly not a time for opposition figures and social media opportunists to sit comfortably behind a phone and pretend that the government of Guyana did nothing or is doing nothing. Because the facts tell a very different story. From the moment the distress call was received, the country's emergency response mechanism was activated. The Coast Guard was mobilized. The Guyana Defense Force Air Corps was mobilized. Government agencies were mobilized. Private boats were mobilized. Private aircraft were mobilized. Fisher folk joined the search. Medical teams were placed on standby. Regional officials were activated. Ministers were sent to communities to meet families and coordinate assistance. This was not a casual response. This was not a government waiting until daylight to decide what to do. Rescuers went out into the darkness. They went into difficult sea conditions. This ass, the Mohammeds have no clue. That pass to get to Region 1 is very, very difficult waters. You understand? They have no idea about the sea conditions there. The government went in to uncertain situation where the locations of the passengers was changing because of the current and tides and the movement of the water. And because of those efforts, yesterday, 67 persons were rescued. Let that number register to you. 67 human beings were rescued. Men, women, children. 15 of those being children. Those people are alive today because the Coast Guard officers, pilots, medical personnel, private boat operators, fisher folks, and other volunteers answered the call. So before anyone rushes to social media with political slogans, you piece of shit as the army, they should first acknowledge the rescuers who went into dangerous conditions to save lives. It is easy to type some bullshit online. It is easy to criticize. It is easy to sit in their air-conditioned rooms and in front of their fancy phones and teleprompters and declare that the government should have done more. But it is another thing to board a vessel in the dead of night and sort rough waters for survivors. And this is what brings me to my first point here to you guys. I want y'all to look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Let's start from the beginning. And I want y'all to count the amount of seagoing friggin' vessels available. 1 jet ski, 1 boat in the back. 2 jet ski, 3 jet ski. 4 jet ski. Another boat. 5 jet ski. 3 boats now. 4, 6 jet ski, 7 jet ski. 5 boats. 8 jet skis. 8 jet skis and 5 boats. 8 bomber-clad jet skis and 5 boats. Right? Let me show you why I brought this to your attention. Because this gentleman who operates or holds the position as opposition leader loves to politicize everything. Right? Loves to politicize everything. And let me show you something. You see this foolishness here? This helicopter don't belong to the Mohammeds, you know. This is a part of private sector efforts in this search. Right? This is most likely one of the rescue life vessels off the boat. This is one of Mohammed boat. You see how much empty seat it got? Right? All they are interested in showing you is the brain, the water. They ain't help find nobody. They ain't recover dead body. They ain't rescue nobody. They ain't do nothing. Right? all their intention is to create that emotional hurt inside of you. Oh God, look a life jacket, nobody inside of it, transport and harbor Barima. Right? This asshole sitting down on the side of the boat in the tight pants, like he actually doing something to help anybody. You understand me? This other guy is standing on a fishing boat on the side that is out there looking. You understand? Look what they effing doing. Taking pictures of the effing helicopter. Instead of they got the face out to the sea, looking for the fellow Guyanese. Like I tell you, I understand why certain people walk away from this kind of thing. The kind of foolishness that you've got to come and discuss on these programs because of asses like Asadeen Mohammed is utterly ridiculous. Right? So this is not about rescuing the effing people that could be drowned in. This is an effing photo op. This is an effing photo op for Asadeen. Oh, Chief, come drive the boat. We got the helicopter coming in front. We can get a shot. Like you part in the effort. All they find is friggin' life jacket. And I'm going to show you the rest of photos. This is what they did on. This is what they did on. This is what they did on. Pulling on the emotional heartstrings of Guyanese. Look at this lady. Tandika Water. Jesus! She see the life raft. You understand? They ain't looking for people. This is the boat that find the life jacket and all the stuff that these pieces of shit from win. And the piece of shit in chief, Asadeen Mohammed taking photos of. Fishermen who came out with a genuine intention of finding and rescuing people. They collect the stuff that they find and take photos of it like if it was their effort. Asadeen Mohammed, you're a piece of shit. I'm telling you, I'm not a Muslim, but Allah is ashamed of you. Allah is ashamed of you. You're a piece of shit, sir. You hear me? You are the definition of haram. You, brother. You understand? So, more photos of the joint effort by the government and the private sector, government agencies and the private sector. You see one on the boat, ass and 3 jackass, right? Ass and 3 jackass. Just driving around. 4. You gotta say 4. Well, ass and 3 jackass, the one who taking the photo too. On the boat, just driving around. So you see the ministry, not the ministry, transport and harbor pilot vessels out there looking. And all they want is photos to pretend like they part of the effort. Let me make sure this thing on screen and y'all see what I'm showing you. That's all they're looking for, you know. A effing photo up. A effing photo up. They ain't got nothing there. Life ring, nothing for shout for rescue nobody. They went out there for photos. Well, Guyanese working hard. So this is the contender. This is the first boat we saw. Right? Watch Mohammed flapping boat. Not a flapping soul rescued. Just out on the water for day sailing. Right? I wanted to share that with you. I want you to also look at this one here. This one here. This one here is of people actually rescued. Right? This one here is the people actually rescued. You notice none of them fancy boats in pulling up with a soul. None of them fancy boats in pulling up with a soul. Their intention wasn't to find nobody. Their intention wasn't to find nobody. The regular boat, man, them finding people. But that's even the flapping pilot boat finding people. The pilot boat finding people. And these is not Mohammed's pictures. These pictures are the tech from Ministry of Public Works. Just so you know. Not a soul. Not a soul. And again, just let me show you. Again, let me show you. Out of 5 boats and 9 jet skis, me buy bring out 2. Me buy bring out 2. Look them right here. Me boy bring out 2 boats with about 6 people. The majority with tea, 2 on the next boat. And ain't find a soul. Ain't find a soul. And ready to talk about government incompetence. And oh gosh, I don't know what to say about this man now. Azadeen Mohammed, you are a piece of shit, I swear. And the worst piece, the stinkiest piece of shit that we as Guyanese could think about, I might not know which one it is. But that is Azadeen Mohammed. A worthless, useless, stinking piece of shit. You, sir. Stinking piece of shit. Now, before I continue, let me show you this as well. This asshole talking about showing you photos of the Exxon helicopter, rescue helicopter, right? How many of these did we see during the search? You animal. Somebody called me an animal the other day, using it on you. You animal. My spark animal. You're disease, you're a parasite on this country, as it. You hear me? You're a parasite on this country. Why didn't take photos of your helicopter flying around looking for friggin' people? Right? Why didn't take photos of your helicopter flying around looking for people, rescuing people? Right? If you look here, this helicopter is GRGTR. That's the registration. GRGTR. Right? That's the registration on the helicopter. Look at this one. Look, this registration is what? ARGJ something. You bring out any helicopters there, anybody, look for anybody. You care about friggin' people. You always talking about who you got and you doing more. You doing more for people. You bring out any helicopter to look for anybody. You taking photos of helicopter that don't belong to you, like if it's part of your effort. Azadeen Mohammed, the worst piece of shit in the world, that's you. That is you, bro. That is you. You disgraceful, dishonorable piece of shit. I can't say what once. I gotta try to keep it light. You understand? Piece of shit. That is you, bro. That is you. Capitalize on anything under the sun. Truth, lie, happiness, sadness, anything, bro. Anything, Azadeen. Anything. You, hey, listen, they got special places in hell for people like you, bro. You understand? You could proclaim your innocence as much as you want. You could proclaim innocence as much as you want, bro. By the end of the day, right? I think I post a video. You say you don't fear nobody but God. God watching you. He watching you. And that's why you want to know how people like these just proclaim to be these big Christians when they know in the heart they're friggin' worthless and bad. Worthless and bad. So none of those 2 helicopters were out there. That's this. Right? None of them, none of the rest of the boats were out there. So all of the 5 boats that he got, fishing vessels, these are like mini yachts, medium-sized yachts that he got. He carried out 2. Left home all the jet skis. He had 9 jet skis. There's 9 people in 9 different directions looking for friggin' people, Azadeen. There was 5 boats in 5 different directions looking for people, Azadeen. That was 2 helicopters scanning the ocean for people, Azadeen. You piece of shit. And you talking? It's one thing to be genuine about wanting to help people and assist people. It's another thing to board a vessel in the dead of night and search rough waters for survivors. You notice when this asshole reach out, they clean, you know. They clean. It's another thing to fly over the ocean looking for small objects, a life jacket, a person holding on to debris, or a hand waving from the water. That is what rescue teams were doing. The operation didn't remain limited to a small area. They expanded the search zone over and over to more than 1,000 kilometers were being searched as authorities adjusted their operation based on currents, weather conditions, and new information as it come in. I show y'all the pilot vessels from transport. I show y'all the aircraft from GDF. And well, I didn't show you GDF. I'm going to show you Exxon rescue helicopter. Right? Divers were mobilized. Specialized vessels that are here because of our oil and gas operations with scanning equipment were added to the operation. That is what a serious national response looks like. You assess, you deploy, you expand, you bring in additional technology, you continue to search. You don't jump on social media and go on like a effing idiot. You understand? You refuse to give up while there remains a possibility that more people can be found alive. You understand me? The government also ensured that survivors were not simply removed from the water and abandoned. They transport them to hospital, medical examination, healthcare workers were placed in position, emergency medical services were coordinated, support was arranged for the relatives. Command and information centers were established in Georgetown, Mabaruma, Port Kaituma, and other affected areas. Social workers were deployed. Government ministers were out meeting with families. Officials were collecting names, checking lists, trying to provide relatives with accurate information in an extremely difficult and confusing situation. Which brings me to the media. Now, let me move this jackass off the screen. Now, this brings me to the media. So yesterday, I'm in a media group with everybody. Police got a group with all the media operatives. Then they got the Department of Public Information. Well, Leland Williams, well, you could go elsewhere, right? This is how my program is run, right, Leland? So respectfully to you. Respectfully to you, Leland. Now, as I was saying, Leland make a lose my train of thought. These people is trouble, buddy. These people is trouble. But what I wanted to tell you, when you see the government putting this effort out to rescue Guyanese that may be floating in the sea, right? Meeting with the families, trying to give them some sort of reassurance that everything is being done. You got people outside trying to cause confusion. And the sad part about it is that they can't even cause the confusion properly. Look at this. Look at this here.
Good morning, Dan. We are here today in a state of confusion.
Hold on. Come off the man back, because the man who called himself the president of Guyana was in his bed, you black ass. You need to grow up. Why you did not jump in the river and save them? You is problem goat. Because I was with your mother, Francis. That's why I didn't jump in the river and save. Because I was lying down with your mother. That's why I didn't jump and save them. Look at this comic. President Ali in his bed. That's to show you the level of stupidity with some guys. You see why the vice president say we say? You see why the vice president say we say? Francis, imagine this person actually thinks that President Ali was in his bed when this whole thing happened. That's to show you how some people so ignorant. They didn't even know where the president been, right? They didn't even know where the president been. Hold on, Francis. Let me make you a little popular. Hold on. Right? They know where the president been, but talking a bunch of bunkum. Talking a bunch of bunkum. Now, for those who don't know, President Ali, before this incident happened, had left Guyana to represent Guyana in Canada, not on a vacation, on presidential duties. You idiot. Something that Asadin couldn't do. Well, Asadin would have been here when the tragedy happened because he can't leave and go nowhere. Right? Because he can't leave and go nowhere. Is where you watching me from, Bano? Is where you watching me from? Hold on. Hold on. Is where you watching me from? Could you imagine? President Ali in bed, according to Francis. President Ali in bed, according to Francis. Hold on, hold on. Imagine the president out doing his work. Something tragic happened. And this is the misinformation thing, you know. Why me seeing all the flapping comments? Francis, boy, can't find you. Right? President Ali in bed. I'm trying to see if it's a fake profile or if this is a real person. Give me a second. Francis, you see this big lady that on you cover here in your profile? That's what I mean. Or I don't know if it's Francis is or if it's a woman. Right? But if you were you, I was with your mother. That's why I couldn't jump in the river. I was with your mother. I was busy with her. That's why I couldn't jump in the river. Watch this old Kabola. This old Kabola fly. Look at you. Talking mess. But President Ali in his bed. And that's the kind of misinformation these idiots that attach to Asadin the spread. Right? Look at this old Kabola fly. This old tiger. Instead, you relax yourself and just live out the rest of your days in peace. Look at you. Ain't even know what's going on. Ain't know what the president there. And this is the kind of thing that's worked me. People who have no clue and just talking a bunch of stupidness. But anyway, Francis, let the comment section deal with you. Now, as I was saying, we had some newcomers to the foolish games, the wind playing, are not newcomers. The resurface itself. The resurface itself. Now, before I go to this video, I was talking about the media. So the media was complaining that they didn't get to ask questions, and they had some press conference, and they were asked to send in questions, right? And they seemed the questions weren't asked. Indeed, the questions weren't asked. But take it into consideration that the government, before holding a press conference with the type of media we got that aligned to certain private groups, it don't make sense for them to gather as much information as possible before engaging y'all. Before engaging the media, so that whatever questions y'all come with, they can offer you an answer. Let's say the government held a press conference early the next morning, the media asking questions, they are still receiving information. Oh, we don't know, we can tell you later. Oh, we don't know, we can tell you later. There's not another problem it would have been. The ministers and the government uninformed of the incident. They got gathered the information for us. Hey, you kill them for that. They're putting out information as they get it, but they're not holding a press conference with the vultures that are in some of these media houses, because you need to have all the information, or as much information as possible, so you could give information and not allow media houses to speculate and put out their own thing, or just put out what they say. Right? Now, coming back to these vultures that resurface. They resurface and they're so out of form. Right? They resurface and they're so out of form. They're chastising themselves like if they ain't government. Y'all can believe this? These people come back looking, they finally found something that they've worthy to jump on. Remember when jumping on everything? Everything. Anything and everything. Now, we got something else to discuss later. You hear Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, son, according to Azadin, get 2,000 acres of mining land. Right? And we can come back to this just now. Apparently, according to Azadin, the minister daughter-in-law get 2,000 acres of mining land. Right? Let me say, in all, they get 6,000. That's not what they get, but I put it into 6,000. Azadin talking about thousands of acres of mining land and small miners can't get a claim. When this banner had tens of thousands, these people get 10,000 acres yet, you know. 2,000 here, 2,000 there. And they get tens of thousands of acres of mining land and quarrying land. And he comparing the two. But we can come back to them. I want to carry y'all to PNC in its glory days. Listen to this.
Good morning, there. We are here today in a state of confusion. Maybe by 3 o'clock this afternoon, we will be in a state of mourning because of the incompetence of the People's National Congress.
Y'all, this is not AI. Y'all understand me? Look at her mouth move. That's one of the ways you spot AI. When the mouth, the video might got a little lag because of the upload. But when you look at the mouth, you just look at the words. Look at the words. If the words form into what it's saying, you know real videos from AI. AI could just open it up and down. But humans, when we talking, we form and we make our mouths into different positions to pronounce words. So you can tell what is AI from what is not. Listen to Coretta. Look at it again. Look at it again. She's so ready to chastise the government that you end up chastising your own party. And it's not even their fault, neither. Oh, jeez. Oh, Coretta.
Good morning, there. We are here today in a state of confusion. Maybe by 3 o'clock this afternoon, we will be in a state of mourning because of the incompetence of the People's National Congress. Now, we are here this morning because since last night at about 12 o'clock, we have been following.
Y'all see why people like James Bond, Daniel Siram, Sherwin Holder, Ricky Ramroop, who else? Tandai McAllister. Who else? Gita Chandan Edmonds, Samuel Sandy or Sandy Samuels, whatever you name. You see why these people run from the PNC? Y'all see why these people run from the PNC? The level of incompetence exhibited, they can't even chastise the right government properly. Everybody that slipped and said the wrong thing was the correction. Correct yourself. Remember that no confidence motion That an Indian lady, member of parliament, hollering to Chandas, correct yourself, correct yourself, correct yourself, correct yourself. Everybody's make mistakes. But when you talking and you ain't even thinking about what you're saying, you don't even see the mistake you make. So she telling me about the incompetence of the PS.
We are here today in a state of confusion. Maybe by 3 o'clock this afternoon, we will be in a state of mourning because of the incompetence of the People's National Congress.
And never again will y'all make it to government because of your incompetence. Right? Because of your incompetence. Right? No, I am encouraging persons to please deal with official sources for information. Right? Don't listen to the political opposition. Look for official sources. The mainstream newspapers, Chronicle, Kaichur in some instance. You understand me? Look there for information. Now, still on this incident, this video came up. Right? Right? This video came out. The hold on. Lie to the nation, the PPPC government, lie to the nation on the BV Barima. What BV Barima? What's the BV Barima? Look, on the BV Barima vessel incident. Which BV Barima vessel incident? These people don't care enough about Guyanese to even get the information right that they're putting out. Just get it out as quick as possible. Get it out as quick as possible. What is the BV Barima? The BV Barima had an incident? I don't know about it.
Boat was not overloaded by passengers or by cargo. There was no engine problem or any mechanical problem.
Yesterday.
No. Hold on. We just hear from Minister Hedgel. The boat had no mechanical problem, wasn't overloaded. No, we're hearing from the passenger, right? We're hearing from the passenger. Let me hear.
We went on the boat and they overloaded the boat.
Now, somebody tell me how this gentleman come up with this assessment. Me looking at cargo can't give me an assessment of the weight. Right? I highly doubt that this man here stand up at the scale and watch things get weighed and put on the boat and it was overloaded. How do you come up with this assessment, sir? All due respect to you, I'm happy that you're alive. But how did you come up with this assessment? What metric you use? What analysis? Just by looking at the cargo? Just by looking at the cargo? We can admit that there are things that come in small sizes that can be extremely heavy. Then, take for instance, you could have a head of a hammer weighing more than a full-size pillow. Right? You understand where I'm coming from with this? Or let's use a sledgehammer. The head of a sledgehammer is about this big. You have a pillow that is about this big, which takes up more space. So unless, or if you are looking at these two things as blacked out images, and someone says, which one of these things weigh more? Naturally, without knowing it's a pillow, you're seeing the size of it, you would assume that that has more weight. But after revealing the two images and you realize this is a sledgehammer head, obviously that has more weight. So I'm asking, how did this gentleman make this assessment that this boat was overloaded? You cannot, and let's be realistic, you cannot look and tell. This gentleman knew the capacity of the boat. How much 1,000 pounds this boat could carry. He knew that. And from looking at the cargo on the boat, he assessed that this boat carrying more than it could have carried. I understand persons are emotional and upset about what happened. Persons lost relatives, persons lost goods, money, and those kinds of things. But again, we can't be making wild accusations. On what grounds that this man has an account of all the passengers that were on the boat? Can he tell us accurately what is the weight that was of goods that were placed on the boat so that he knew that the boat was overloaded? Let us be realistic, people.
Right? Top, middle, and the bottom, ram is top.
The top, middle, and the bottom. The top, middle, and the bottom. So he been traversing all 3 levels of the boat. So he get an assessment of everything. All right, brother. Okay.
The boat was not overloaded by passengers or by cargo.
Right? Top, middle, and the bottom, ram is top. And water get in the hatch and sink the boat. When the boat ended up turning. Before we left, they was trying to get the boat off the sandbank because they parked the boat inside.
So now water get in the hatch. Which hatch? Where you be? And there's the thing, when you get people like Asadin doing these things, you don't get somebody with sense to ask questions to understand. Okay, water start going in this hatch. Now y'all reach on a sandbank. Where you been? Where you been to see the water going in the hatch? Passengers ain't supposed to die, no hatch, no way. And there no boat and no engine room. So where you been to see water start going in the hatch? What you been doing there?
And it's stick up with the mud. And they had about 3/4 to an hour trying to get it off. And when they get it off, it started walking from one engine and they still go with it. They stop. They got the mechanic man walking on the engine and still.
No. We hear about hatch. We hear about sandbank and mud. Now we hear that one of the engines stopped working. How does the government fault? Oh gosh, the government put the sandbank there. There are reports of the crew, some of the crew being intoxicated and under the influence of THC. Does the government fault that they high and make a bad judgment navigating and running to the sandbank? Those people will be held accountable. But because of Asadin and his acidity, you got to throw everything. You got to throw everything on the government. You got to throw everything on the government.
Forcing the boat to go.
Would you trust this government or the survivor? How the survivor ascertained the weight of the cargo that he saw Asadin? How did the survivor ascertain the weight of the cargo that he saw? How did the survivor have a head count of everyone on the boat to know that it was overloaded with people or overloaded with cargo? I mean, the sandbank thing, what are you going to do? But the overload claim, and mind you, this is the only person that I've seen with this sort of explanation here. But again, you see what they put to you. Who would you trust? The government or the survivor? The survivor who doesn't have any information of the amount of cargo loaded on the ship or the amount of persons on the ship. Y'all remember They had a man on Regent Street in a taxi that fly into the air, do a kind of thing, and then come back down. Do you all remember tragic incident on Regent Street where a foreign national tried to terrorize Guyanese by blowing up a gas station? And somebody who was close by, maybe in an effort to get a payday, embellished the story. Right? Embellished the story. He can't fly up in the air. Land back down. Then he come and take this little girl out of the car, and he helped this body or rescued this body. And perhaps the video come out. Nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. So sometimes you got to take the survivor's account with a pinch of salt. Because we've had situations where survivors outright lie about the situation in an effort to take, well, oh, I'm going to get a PD here, get a new car, I'm going to get a this or that. So I am saying this survivor need to be asked some more questions. Right? This survivor need to be asked some more questions because, again, we have had situations where survivor's story, you really can't run with it. Look, the other day, I see Doggy abusing somebody on Facebook. Somebody was allegedly kidnapped. Babs, Doggy, investigate, come down to the story. No kidnapping. No kidnapping. And if you see the survivor get thrown out some truck, not a scratch, nothing bruise on shit, nothing. And she hyperventilate. Oh, the station. Oh. Just to tarnish another person who probably in love with her no more, and she vexed. Thank God the man be with his side woman at a hotel that had camera to say, well, hey, this is why she got know she depend. So I am saying survivors and some of their stories might not be accurate. And Jenny Ferreira, the president, came back last night. The president is in Guyana. Don't worry, Francis and she BS, but the president being in the bed. The president was out in the jurisdiction when this happened. That's why we have a prime minister who was correct at the time functioning in the role as president. So our president was here. And a prime minister who is trained to deal with disaster management and these things to keep a cool head and keep everything going smoothly. You understand? An independent investigation must be done. Yes, an independent investigation like the investigation the U.S. authorities did on Azadeen Mohammed that uncovered the gold smuggling, the tax evasion, the wire fraud, the ties to Hezbollah, paper shards murder, Ryan Passad, the thousands of acres of mining land that he got that the small miners can't get a claim. That type of investigation, a similar independent investigation must be done in Azadeen Mohammed, just as into the boat incident, because there will be an investigation. I assure you, there will be an investigation into this incident. And the persons found culpable, trust me, their heads will roll. President Ali is not, this is not the, and President Ali is not them. You understand? This is not the, and President Ali is not them. So anybody, even remotely involved in this thing, causing this incident to happen, either people who overload the book. And again, I'm saying there's no way for the government ministers, the president, the prime minister, the vice president, transport and harbor head to know exactly what those persons are doing at that dock. That boat could be filmed as somebody coming to turn around. Oh shit, somebody I reached late, man. Try on these couple things for me now. This Guyanese culture. That's how it is go. When we can't get everywhere, we throw money at it. That's how Guyanese stay. So, indeed, there may be the possibility that the boat was overloaded. But I'm saying, how did that passenger make that assessment? How? How you come up with it? And indeed, there may be persons at Transport and Harbor who are in charge of loading that boat that take a blind and put extra thing on the boat, put extra people on the boat. You understand? You understand? The nation is calling on the leader of the opposition and all opposition MPs to take the lead and help uncover the truth behind this horrific tragedy. Oh, the nation is? The nation is? Oh, okay. I didn't know. Because I am part of the nation and I didn't ask Fasadin to do shit. You understand? I didn't ask Asadin to do nothing. The PPP must be held accountable. The families of the victim deserve the truth about what happened to their loved ones. The effing PPP sailing the boat. Eh? President Ali was the captain of the boat. Eh? Prime Minister Mark Phillips was the chief engineer. Bishop Wanya Jill was the load master, the wharf loading the boat. It's fellow Guyanese like me and you. We own Mati Guyanese. The people that define with the cannabis and the alcohol in the system is the government ministers, is the head for Transport and Harbor. Eh? Y'all make it make sense, man. Make it make sense, man. I swear to y'all, it's like, I really don't know what to say with this guy. Now, that aside, let me come to gold mining again. As the government deals with this tragedy, y'all again look to official sources for information in relation to this incident, that tragic incident that took place. Right? Right? Listen to this here.
Looks like under the PPP. Minister of
Look right there. That's what corruption does look like. Right? That's what corruption does look like. A jack. This boy got me getting out of character on my own show. This banner does make it one cost up. But let me go through. Listen to you.
Agriculture. Zulfikar Mustafa's sons and daughter-in-law now have thousands of acres of
thousands, right? Thousands of acres. Listen.
Prime gold mining lands, while local miners who applied decades ago are yet to receive a claim, much less a block. We must question this travesty regarding how
travesty. Thousands of acres of travesty.
Prime mining lands are allocated and the level of transparency within the approval process at the GGMC, particularly in relation.
So, y'all remember, right? Somebody caught him doing a video in front of GGMC with the teleprompter. So he didn't release the one. He go home to do the video. Okay, maybe he want to come out. Can people can see? People can see like, oh, wait. Stay up close. Oh, you understand? So he go home and do the video over. This is the GGMC video.
To the Minister of Agriculture and his family. Since 2023, the Mustafas have received thousands of acres of
since 2023, right? Since 2023.
Prime gold mining lands. 2,867 acres.
2,867, right? Somebody please keep counting in the comment section. Please keep counting in the comment section. Sally Jones, Sean Washington, all the regulars. Please help me count in the comment section. We're counting up the acres of land that allegedly Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, right? And then we can examine some hypocrisy.
Thousands of acres of prime gold mining lands. 2,867 acres.
2,867 is the first amount we hear. Let me continue.
3 blocks of prime gold mining lands were given to Dr. Vashni Ganeshnath, the daughter-in-law. Javed Mustafa, the husband of Vashni and son of Minister Zulfikar, was granted 2,349 acres.
2,349. Y'all got them two numbers there? Y'all got them two numbers there. Please, I hope I ask y'all to help me. I don't have my phone here to do the calculation. Please help me. You get the second number? All right.
2 blocks. And Zahid Mustafa, the other son of Minister Mustafa, was granted 2,390
another 2,398
acres.
98 acres. Right? Shit. Sorry. All right. Sorry. I moved
Kickbacks and rentals. The no mining back years ago were the husband of Vashni and son of Minister Zulfikar was granted 2,340.
Shauna, I'm sorry you're driving. Don't let me ting you. Right? But I want y'all adding the numbers together. You heard 2,000 plus, or let me say 3,000 acres. Right? We get 3 plots of land at about 3,000 acres each. It's under 3,000, but we can round it up to 3,000.
49 acres, 2 blocks. And Zahid Mustafa, the other son of Minister Mustafa, was granted 2,398 acres, 2 blocks. Many local miners who applied years ago were never granted lands. Yet, this family, which owned
this banner, anybody know how much acres of mining land this asshole and the father was controlling? Please, anyone in the comment section, let me put the comments on the screen. Anybody in the comment section, y'all please help me. Right? We're based on what Azzedine Mohammed revealed, and my rounding off is 9,000 acres of mining land he talking about there. 9,000 acres of mining land. And that's me rounding it off to 3,000 each to each person that he identified. Anybody in the comment section could tell me how much mining land Azzedine Mohammed control? We got John Passat. 80,000. The claim that he is making didn't even reach 10,000 acres of mining land. So if you are saying that you're alleging that the minister family got 9,000 acres and deprived so many small miners, who apply decades ago, according to you, how many friggin' small miners you ain't allowed to get a piece of land? Again, this is what I'm telling you. This is not about exposing corruption. This is the idiocy exhibited by Win. A man is talking about 3 people with less than 10,000 acres, and he had 81,000 or 80 plus thousand acres of mining land. 9,000 acres deprived so many small miners. But 80,000 plus acres didn't do anything. They didn't bring no small miner to be unable to get a claim. Everybody was getting claims when you had 80,000 acres. This is the hypocrisy that I cannot understand with this guy and the people that follow him. Could you imagine this is what Azzedine Mohammed talking about? Odessa, Tabitha, Natasha, Don, Hetzberger. Nobody could have tell this idiot no. Don't let me go down this line. We ain't gonna look good. Don't let me bother with this one. Let this one go. Let this one go. 9,000 acres compared to 80,000. And we just talking 80,000 in gold mining land, you know. Prime gold mining land. We ain't talking about the quarry land yet. The sand and stone land. There's another 45 plus thousand acres of land. Could you all understand that? Azadeen Muhammad and his father controlled more than 100,000 of the mineral, 100,000 acres of land, high in mineral value here in Guyana. And this piece of shit sitting down in his luxury home complaining about 3 people that get 9,000 acres between the 3 of them. The hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. This is what I talk about. The level of stupidity displayed by this man.
Only started navigating Georgetown after 2020. Dr. Vash acres, 2 blocks. Many local miners who applied years ago were never granted lands. Yet, this family, which only started navigating Georgetown after 2020.
So the family only started navigating Georgetown after 2020. Right? He navigating Georgetown all his life. He navigating Georgetown all his life. That's why you're only able to get 9,000 and you got 80,000. That's the difference. Fool. That is the difference. Because you are navigating Georgetown all your life, you were able to get more. Tell us about your acreage that you had.
Dr. Vashni probably never even saw the gold land.
Probably never even saw. Like this asshole does the anyway mining himself. He already dirty foot father. He already dirty foot father. You think they in the mines with the 80,000 acres they had actually mining the land? All this Bonnie used to do is go in the bush to collect the gold from the Venezuelan generals and smuggle it out as your own. And you talking as it is? But who never see gold land? Y'all go through T. Muhammad's page and find one photo of this asshole at a gold operation. T. Muhammad's are win. I challenge anybody. Go through all the T. Muhammad photos from the past and look for one photo with this asshole on a gold claim. You see him with the gold bricks. They do documentary at Al Jazeera showing all the big gold bricks in the place. But never a day on the claim. Y'all check it. And you talking about a female never see gold land.
They have no mining background. And
they got all the mining background. He and the dirty foot father. Dirty foot, dirty ears, stink with wax father. They got all the gold mining experience. Where exactly do you get gold mining experience from? Azadeen. Did you get yours from QC? Did you get your gold mining experience from QC? Because as far as I know, anybody going into gold mining, you start with no experience. With the ass, you can learn about it from before. Most likely, you can hire somebody who worked in gold mining before to look over your operation or guide you. But if you apply to GGMC for a claim, never mind gold before, where would the ass you supposed to get the experience from? All the people who you say looking for claim and small, claim and the one small, claim and this and that. Where they get the experience from? They got to go in and learn. You and your dirty foot father have to learn too. Azadeen Muhammad has no political experience, but he's jackassing himself around the politics in Guyana. Anybody tell you anything, anybody could stop you. They don't have gold mining experience. You don't have sense or any political experience. What's the difference? Both of you exploring things that you don't know. Both parties exploring things that they don't know. You claim the doctor got gold mining experience. Azadeen, his father, Hannah, no sense, no political experience, but yet you guys are traversing in the political arena. So what makes you, your dirty foot father, and Dumbo different? What makes y'all different? And that's what I say the logic behind some of these statements that these guys has put into the video is so stupid.
Granted thousands of acres through the closed area committee with just a phone call.
How you know that? How you know that? And this is again to show you how the misinformation is spread. So his vendetta is so serious against Minister Mustafa that fine. Minister Mustafa's son apply for goal and he get through. Right? The sons apply. Whoever apply and they get through. Now he has to make this look. Remember, Minister Mustafa's son ain't working in government. None of them. Nor the daughter-in-law, according to him. Right? These are the people who get the land. None of them are working in government. So they can't apply for gold land. Now, let us say they got 80,000 acres. That would have been something to look at. But 2,000 something each compared to the 80,000 that you had, brother. 80,000? And you talking about 9,000? So to make it look suspicious, to make it look like it's some corrupt transaction, to make it look like these three Guyanese, because at the end of the day, despite them being relatives to Minister Mustafa, these are three Guyanese. These three Guyanese apply for Mainland and get through to make it look suspicious with one phone call. With one phone call.
These lands are then leased to foreign mining tycoons so the Mustafas can get...
Mind you, let's see if he lists the foreign tycoons. Right? Let's see if he lists the foreign tycoons. Imagine, one, he went to President Ali Farm and fly drone. Y'all remember how Asadin behaved with the crew when the banner fly the drone that they working for the Vandeyar Park, when he had the people in there behaving stupid around the rich people them? The swan, car, and all that. Anytime President Ali, he's a sitting president, you know. He's a sitting president. Anytime that it was a similar response to the drone flight at the president farm, this ass would jump and make another, look, abuse of power. Like when he circled the man who fly the drone by he. Right? But they only know things when it's to benefit them.
Then lease to foreign mining tycoons.
So he talking about foreign mining tycoons. He didn't get nobody to go in. Mind you, Azzedine can afford to get people to go into where this land is, do his drone footage, and show us the foreign mining tycoons. He cannot call a single name of a company because he knows it is untrue. And if he calls those company names, they will sue him. So he can't call a name of a single foreign mining tycoon. He got to use a broad statement, like the broad jackass that he is.
So the Mustafas can get major kickbacks and rentals. The foreign gold companies benefit from reduced royalties in Guyana.
Who's the companies? Who's the companies? Where is the proof of the reduced royalty? Where is the proof of the minister receiving kickbacks? But none of that matters. As they don't care about that.
Because they cannot get such low royalties anywhere else in the world.
What?
Also, based on information,
you can't get the low royalties anywhere else in the world, but he didn't tell me what's the royalties. He's not saying to us, what are these ridiculously low royalties that these miners are getting? But he knows everything else. International mining tycoon, 9,000 acres of land. They ain't got no experience. Oh, me mama.
the Mustafas are also having an Essequibo gold dealer writing receipts as if the dredges registered to them are profiting from large amounts of gold.
Again, not a receipt to show you, not a gold operation to show you. We must go on the word of somebody who is currently sanctioned for gold smuggling and tax evasion, to listen to them about other people and their gold operations. So Minister Mustafa and his sons and his daughter-in-law, after the allegations by Azadeen Mohammed, they must now come clean, because Azadeen make an allegation. But Azadeen don't have to come clean when the entire, most branches of the U.S. investigation, FBI, this body, the body, compile so much evidence against Azadeen. Azadeen don't have to answer to a bumbleclad soul. Azadeen does not have to answer to a soul, but everybody else must be held accountable. Everybody else must be transparent. Your followers are seriously delusional.
So that they can launder money. Local miners are treated unfairly. They were chased off of mining lands. They were arrested. Their equipment was seized and is yet to be returned. Their camps burned down. They were forced to shut down.
Those photos are GGMC operations taking out, well, not taking out, stopping illegal mining. Right? Stopping illegal mining. That is what he used there. These people, none of them were on claims that they could prove were issued to them by GGMC. These is people raiding other people's land and raiding Guyanese resources. Get stopped by GGMC. But he can paint it in his own life.
Resulting in millions in losses. The ministers do not care about small miners. They are manipulating the system to take prime mining lands for themselves, because gold is nearly $4,000 per ounce.
So we know the gold price quick. That was the only thing that Azadeen knew off of that script he reading from the teleprompter there now. The only thing.
It was just at 5,000 the other day. We have received information on several other ministers who have businessmen fronting dredges for them.
Don't call the businessman name. Can't call the ministers them name, because he will be sued. He will be sued.
Many small-scale Guyanese miners reported to us that they are unable to obtain access to prime land blocks. In several cases, miners claim they are removed from or denied access to areas they have traditionally worked.
So if they traditionally work there, would they have paperwork for that? Think about it. Y'all looking at me here. Think about it. If somebody is traditionally working there, so it got to be more than 5-6 years, would you have paperwork from GGMC for that? For you to mine in this country, you have to have approval from GGMC. So where's the paperwork? Where's the cartage? That's what I try to explain to y'all sometimes. Sometimes some of the bullshit that this guy comes with makes no sense. How can you be there traditionally, legally, and have no paperwork? And if you have paperwork and GGMC come to move you off this land for no reason, there's a courts. There's a court. So what are we discussing?
If a small miner finds large amounts of gold on state lands, the ministers then find a big businessman that can front for him or her, put the miner off the land, and grant access to the block themselves.
He can give you one instance of where this happened, where a small miner claimed to find a big set of gold, and GGMC moved them off the land and bring a next big miner. Right? Azadeen can give you one instance of that. One instance of that.
Indirectly. Large miners are also making calls to senior PVP officials to push small miners off of lucrative mining lands and give them other claims so that the prime lands can go to those who are politically connected.
Look, guys, I out to here. I fed up Azleen Mohammed. I wish the 29 could come as fast as possible. Let's get this verdict and let's get this extradition moving. Right? Azleen Mohammed is a plague on this country. A nuisance, a virus. Right? Azleen making us sick. Azleen is COVID 2026. Right? Azleen is COVID 2026. And he has infected a section of the Guyanese population. He's infected a section of the Guyanese population that they have become so blind to the foolishness that Azleen could make videos like that, talking about 9,000 acres against 80,000 acres that he had. And all of a sudden, he know the big wigs or the big businessmen, like the people who own Mohammed Enterprise, calling people to get mining land. All of a sudden, he know it didn't happen before. It only happening now when he's opposition leader. And the US them sanctioning, and all the gold land them get take back. You know how much miners got land now because they take back the land from you? Thank God. Thank God. Guys, I am out of here. Please keep the families of the persons who were involved in the MV, not BV, MV Barima incident in your thoughts and prayers. Please keep the rescue teams in your thoughts and prayers. Those persons out there who are volunteering that, they got other persons from the various services that are all doing their duty. But keep everyone in your thoughts so that everyone remains safe during this rescue effort. And, you know, I'll see you guys here tomorrow, same time, same place. Please try to not involve yourself with the foolishness that will come out of the Mohammed scam. Right? Please. I know that you guys have better sense. I am out of here. Until next time. As I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana.
If I think about the ways you make me smile, I'd be sitting here and smiling for a while. Although I know I make you cry sometimes, your happiness is ever on my mind. I cannot repay for everything you've done, but my love for you burns brighter than the sun. No matter where my feet and mind may go, my heart will lead to you and you alone. Guyana, Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. A paradise so wondrous to behold, a work of art, your heart is gleaming gold. They sail the waters, soar above the trees, to find the gem between the mount and seas. Your children know we try though we may fall. We stand united now to heed your call. Our fathers fought the fights for liberty. Forever I'll The blessings of God never leave your shore.